If you want to become a woman who attracts rather than chases, you need to recognize these behaviors that make men lose respect for you. Because always remember, the moment a man loses respect for you, he won't love you the same way. Okay, I'm excited for this, so let's begin. Number 1, don't become the female version of him. I've seen so many women do this, even some of them that I've dated in the past. After a few months of knowing me, suddenly my favorite movies became her favorite movies. You know, she became a soccer fan like me. She started eating the same foods that I ate. And then when the relationship ended, I saw the same girl with another guy, and now she was the biggest basketball fan because that's the sport that he liked, and also she was always watching the shows that he enjoyed. And this is part of a people-pleasing personality, okay? Some of you just become a sponge and you want to force compatibility because you think that, you know, that's the most effective way to build a wholesome relationship. And even if you get to enjoy things that he likes, don't give up on what makes you unique, because being yourself is the only way that you can be irreplaceable. Number 2, don't hide your intellect. If a man ever feels threatened by your intelligence, ladies, that's a major sign of insecurity on his part. Dumbing yourself down for a partner is a recipe for resentment, okay? Where you feel like you're settling for someone who doesn't stimulate you intellectually. And let me give you an example. Last week, I was having this coaching session with a woman, and she was around my age, mid-30s, so she asked me a question, and I gave her a simple response, you know, like 2 or 3 sentences, but I could totally see, you know, the hesitation in her eyes that she wanted to say something. So I asked, hey, you know, is there anything that you want to tell me? Don't hold back. And then she went on for 3 whole minutes breaking down why she didn't agree with the advice that I gave her. And you know what? It was actually a pretty brilliant response. And the point is that she was downplaying her intellect. So I was giving her simple responses, but once that I saw her true capabilities, we started engaging in a much deeper and more meaningful way. Number 3, don't become Mom 2.0. I know that a lot of you know this one, right? Playing mother to your partner can completely drain your energy. Constantly cleaning up after him, you know, watching over his finances, pushing him to pursue his goals. A grown man should be capable of taking care of himself. Taking on the mother role can create an unhealthy dynamic where your partner becomes overly demanding and you feel undervalued. However, let me say that this doesn't mean, ladies, that you never do anything nice for him, you know, like cooking him dinner or doing some other household tasks, because I know that some of you take this to the extreme, right? And you refuse to do any thoughtful gestures for him, fearing that you'll be taken advantage of. It's all about finding a healthy balance, you know, where both of you contribute and you feel appreciated. Number 4, don't put your dreams on hold. Compromise is key in any relationship, right? But there's a difference between compromise and sacrifice. You shouldn't have to completely give up on your personal goals and aspirations just to be with someone. And I see this problem a lot, especially young women. You know, you put your personal goals on hold to support your partner's dreams, and then you even relocate to another country because he's going to get a job that only benefits him. The right man will be your biggest cheerleader, not an obstacle to your success. Number 5, stop avoiding conflict. Here's a quote that I love that embodies this point. If you hide your pain from your partner, you may have peace in the relationship, but you'll create a war in your mind. I see so many of you afraid to disagree with your partner because you worry that it will lead to a fight and then him leaving. And here's the thing, healthy couples disagree sometimes, okay? Like, the important thing is to be able to express your opinions respectfully. A healthy partner would value your voice and want to hear what you have to say, even if you don't always see eye to eye. Nevertheless, if your partner is the type that breaks things down, starts yelling at you when there's conflict, that is not okay, ladies, all right? Don't put up with a fucking shitty behavior. I'm sorry for my French, but it really gets to me, all right? So let's keep moving on. Number 6, don't fully rely on him financially. Financial independence isn't just about having a lot of money, beautiful, okay? It's about having control over your own life and feeling secure. Relying solely on a man for financial support can create a power imbalance in the relationship. And a lot of men will do this in a sneaky way. I've seen it over and over again. They will tell you, oh, you don't have to work, babe. You know, I'll take care of you. Why do you want to start a business? Just come work for me. You know, I'll teach you some stuff. And later, once your whole schedule revolves around him and you're accustomed to a lifestyle that he provided, he may start using finances as a weapon to control you. Number 7, don't excuse his behavior. For this one, I'm just gonna show you a reel that I made on Instagram that illustrates this point. Have you ever loved a man so much that you tried to excuse his behavior while he was hurting you? Oh no, that's the way he is. He's not a liar. He was just afraid to tell me the truth. And you see, this only happens when you value someone's love more than your self-love. You're more concerned about losing him than losing yourself. Number 8, don't isolate yourself. I saw this pattern in one of my sisters. Like, every time that she was dating a new guy, she would just stop reaching out, stop hanging out with the family until she learned her lesson. And you see, this is part of practicing detachment, where your life doesn't completely revolve around this person. Like his friends are your friends. You even love his family more than yours. And I know that a lot of you have a toxic environment back home, where you grew up, but always have friends or other connections with other people that are not related to him. Number 9, avoid uncomfortable intimacy. It's really sad to see how some men guilt trip women into doing sexual activities that you're not comfortable with. It's like they use all these manipulated tactics to make you feel bad if you don't go along with all of his experiments. They will say things that make you feel like you're not a good partner if you don't do what they want in bed. Or they will downplay your feelings and make you doubt yourself and believe that you're overreacting. And sometimes, ladies, it's not that these guys are necessarily evil, right? Like I always explain this in all of my videos. It's almost a societal problem where these dudes, grew up watching a lot of porn and they have all these stereotypes that they believe what women are supposed to behave in intimacy, and that it's your duty to please all of his desires no matter how uncomfortable that makes you feel. All right, ladies, that's it for today's 9 things that a woman should never do for a man. And you know what? I'll give you a quick extra one, okay? Never send him naked selfies. And this just came to mind because I was reading the comments last week in one of the videos, and the way that technology is nowadays, like, you don't really want someone to have naked pictures of you on their phone. Trust me. If he wants to see you again with your clothes off, just tell him that you like it when he takes them off in person. Okay, I'm just kidding. Anyways, thanks so much for subscribing to my channel. I'm glad that